Good afternoon. It's Saturday, May 8th. I'm making pictures. I'm going to try this odd angle here, but maybe it'll be informative. So, pictures don't have to be of a particular size, but because of the spout and because the most useful sizes are generally around 3 pints, they're often not something a beginning potter tries. I mean, obviously, if you threw smaller, you could make, a creamer or even a gravy boat. But as you get to throwing larger, pitchers become an option. In this case, I'm throwing what I call eights, which is 8 lumps out of a 25-pound bag of clay. And some of that is because the last time when I threw sixes, I ended up with pitchers that were a little too large to be useful. The thing with the size of the pitcher is that it's got to fit in the refrigerator generally. So there's a height challenge. And there's also the overall weight challenge because of the liquid being a pound a pint. As you get larger and larger pitchers, you suddenly need stronger and stronger people to pick them up. The other thing that's interesting for me as a potter with pitchers is that there's actually 3 stages instead of 2. So as I demonstrated the other day, you throw the pot, and then after it's dried a bit, you come back and you trim it. Well, with a pitcher, there's an intermediate step. Now there are some people that do away with that intermediate step, and by intermediate step I mean when you put the spout on, when you pull the spout off of the rim. Some people just do it right away, but I find that the type of spout I want to make requires that the clay be not as wet as it is when I'm throwing it. Okay, so those of you who have been counting at home, for my smaller things, I generally try to go with 2 pulls. And earlier when I was making the first of these, I realized that with pitchers I do sort of a pull, 2.5 pulls. Okay, so from here up, it's already as thin as I want it. In fact, I can clean it up. I'm really not planning on doing much changing to it. But the bit below that is still too thick, and that's okay. I needed the clay there, the thicker clay here, so that the bit up here at the top would be steady. And I have a couple options. I mean, I could just stop right now and come back later and trim away the excess. But I'm going to do that greedy potter thing. And I'm going to do one more pull to try to thin this wall, try to make a taller object, and try to make an object that holds more. And let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, right now we're just doing basic cylinder because it's steady. But by combining a pulling up with creating a belly, I thin that wall and get more room for liquid. Doesn't mean there won't still be trimming. So any shaping, okay, so I've got a rib in my outside hand. I don't in the inside. Any shaping you can do with a rib has a couple of advantages. And not just that it, leaves a smooth background. It leaves a more consistent surface than your fingertips will. And it's also pulling some of that extra wetness off the clay that frankly you don't need. It's just going to slow things down. It's going to make the thing fall over. Okay, I said I'd already done this part. I was wrong. It changed its shape a little and I don't want it to bulge there. Okay. So, as I said, I'm going to let it set for however many hours. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to use this fat rim to create a graceful spout. If you're just doing a simple folded rim, you need to have less clay at the rim. Otherwise it'll dribble. So later, I can also add banding and decoration and so forth. Because there's these stages, I don't have to make all the decisions about it when I throw it. I'm going to have another stage. I know I'm going to have another stage. I can save some decision making for then. Have a good day.